storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page lies, it's about to appear. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend, Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here in Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? We are live. Good morning. Back at it. Been gone a week. We were here last Monday. And here we are this month. Well, Tuesday. Good thing I do all this stuff when in the off season. We don't have a lot to talk about. Obviously, hurricane season. So good morning, everybody. We got a little bit of catching up to do with how the weekend went. We had a wonderful time at Daytona. So I appreciate all the folks that put up with our NASCAR posts. As if you weren't a NASCAR fan, you're probably like, why do you keep posting NASCAR? But we had an amazing event. Our car didn't do so good, man. Old Bailey Curry moved up to 13th. The transmission popped into neutral, which happens, and over-revved the engine and blew it up. It was the most high, most low you could possibly get in about a 15-minute window. He pulled the second pack up, new car, new engine, but we had a lot of press. We had way more press than most got, so that was a great week. So, there you go. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, Shelly. We're back at it, getting ready for the cruise next. Good morning, Lisa. I just posted a picture from Minneapolis, Lisa. As a matter of fact, I just posted the latest forecast. You're still looking to get 20-plus inches in Minneapolis area. We got like an extreme possible weather warning for you guys. Ice to the south, snow to the north. But that's racing, Steve. Yep. It was such a high, low. But, man, listen, I am not exaggerating, hundreds of fans stopped by. We had so much fun meeting everybody in the infield. Our meet and greet was phenomenal. Huge thanks to the state of Florida. Mr. Kevin Guthrie, he even gave me an awesome, very limited edition coin here from the FDEM. So that was very special. They came down with a couple members from their staff from Tallahassee handing out weather information, weather radios, just supporting what we're doing. The sticker was on the car. So awesome to have the state of Florida supporting Mike's Weather page. Really means a lot. We also had local Volusia County EOC there. Jill from there was there, did an amazing job handing out tons of information, a lot of stuff for kids. It was such a huge hit. We're going to hopefully do it next year in the Midway. Bigger, better, getting awareness out there and meeting the fans and people that, are affected from hurricanes. So hopefully next year's 500 will be out there. Maybe even have a car out there in the 500 and Xfinity. So that's cool. Of course, my buddy Austin there, Mr. DJ, he'll be over at our crew party. Met so many amazing people. Scott from FEMA, met him, and it was great. Mr. Jim couldn't make it over from EOC, but we loved him. So just huge success. I'm just, I'll post a few bits and pieces here and there, but thank you everybody for supporting our hurricane awareness car and what we did. And I think it was a huge success. A lot more press than we could have hoped for as far as that. So, and can you believe it? It's 100 days away from hurricane season, Louie. 100 days, man. 100 days. We can start at 99 bottles of beer on the wall countdown. 100 days. After May, we'll be doing our daily brew every day of the week, Monday through Friday, and start counting down. I'll be here with you right through the storm. Pollen maps on the page. Kat, we'll look at it. But everybody loved Louie over there. I think he was more popular at Daytona than I was. Right, buddy? 100 days away. All right, so let's show you Hunter. We'll say a few more hellos. I'm going to read some boards, and we'll go right into weather. Shelly, look at this sneak peek. Koozie time. It's countdown to our cruise. Less than a month. We got our couple koozies. We're giving away some swag for the cruise. Furman announced. Hey, Shelly, guess what? I don't know if you know this. Furman is giving away a towel with our cruise logo on it. A real beach towel. And so, pretty excited about that. All right. So, 99% of the people that I meet watch our Daily Brew. So, that is awesome. Our Daily Brew is brought to you by our great friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Sean and crew there are wonderful supporters of our page. We had that awesome commercial last year, and we're gearing up for this season. And I know our Daytona fans visited ABC, but great company here, family owned and operated, and they're about as old as my dear old dad. In the 80s, been around. I think 1936. I think I have to verify that, but big thanks to ABC. This is our ABC Daily Brew, brought to you daily. So this is a little Hunter, by the way. All right, I think that was all I wanted to show. Let's talk about weather. Let me put on the radar, kind of get things going, and then we'll go from there. What can we show here while we say hello to some folks? I guess ice is the big story right now. I don't know. What can I show? I was going to try to show everything in a nutshell, what's going on, but I don't really see any maps that are exciting. All the weather is pretty much happening tomorrow. I would just leave the page up. So anyway, so here's the deal. Springtime is upon us. Squirrel and Love, great to know that. Hey, by the way, met some great supporters at the site too. We were cruising the campground one night and met some Cat 5s. It was great. But anyway, we're 100 days of hurricane season. So we're slowly entering that springtime season, right? Where every other day we're going to start looking at Storm Prediction Center forecast. We already got one for tomorrow here. Obviously, our storms are starting to stretch a little bit more up to that classic tornado alley season. The jet stream's starting to pull a little bit farther north. Anytime a jet stream pulls a little farther north, the storms start to go with it. Gets hotter in the south. We're going to have unbelievable heat here coming up. So the big story headlines that we got a huge horizontal ice event starting tomorrow. It's going to stretch across the northeast Great Lakes area. Ice to the north of the ice, we're going to have that snow line with possible 20 inches plus around the Minneapolis areas, and we'll have to look into that. So big winter headaches coming. And then we got some storm threats, ahead of this thing. And then I guess the biggest story for those living in the south is heat. We're going to be in the 90s for a big chunk of the state Thursday here in Florida. 90s are upon us. So that's what we got. Little buddy. Good morning, Joel. Happy Tuesday. Barbie, good morning. What's up, Donna Ugg? Road trip Tennessee. I like that, Mikey. All right. In a little bit of sad news for us, it was a double whammy. Car blew up, and then Emily stubbed her toe at Daytona, and believe it or not, she broke her pinky. So tonight is the official first night of softball for Eastlake, and she doesn't get to play. She might be out a month, so that is awful. The girl was devastated. I was devastated, but it's all about her. She was more devastated, so big bummer for that. We do have a special game Thursday night. I'm going to go all in the weather here in a second, but I did want to mention one more thing. So Thursday night, Eastlake High School here in town doing a strikeout cancer event they do every year. Everything's in pink. The girls dress up in pink. We have pink lights. We got a special guest this year, though. My buddy Drew Garabo here locally, the Drew Garabo Show. I'm not sure if you know him or not. Very popular radio show here in Tampa Bay area. And he's coming to throw out one of the first pitches because he battled very, very serious cancer couple, I think it was about last year, but he shared a lot of that story on his show, but he's very, very involved now with obviously cancer and doing things like this. So we're very, very excited to have Drew Garabo come out. So if if you're into that, listen, if you're interested in donating to the school, it's going to a gentleman and his family that were dealing with cancer, and unfortunately he passed. But it's all dedicated to him. So I'm going to do a post here in a little bit showing our cancer night, who it's benefiting, and show, Drew Garabo is going to be throwing out a pitch because that means a lot. Drew talks a lot on the radio for me. He's always got our show, Tropical Juice, gives me a lot of airtime here in Tampa Bay area, which spreads throughout the state. And he also does a lot of shout outs to Emily's softball team. So, it's a great connection. Not only for, his press for Mike's Weather Page, but also our girls. So yeah, it sucks for that, but at least, we'll be all right. Hopefully, we're shooting for the 22nd. Luckily, we have our cruise week. But yeah, hey, everybody gets it. So all right. So let's talk about snow and ice, and then we're going to talk about this big heat coming down to Florida. So, like I said, the jet stream's pulling north. That's going to allow high pressure to start building back in over the Atlantic. Could be signs of, hurricane season's upon us. Once that high pressure builds in, waters start warming up, all that yucky stuff. We're going to start getting forecasts soon with hurricanes, and I think Eric Burris has got a big one coming out maybe this week. You're probably going to hear a lot about La Nina and El Nino. We've been in La Nina for the last 3 years. La Nina typically brings a lot of storms, a lot of names. However, it doesn't guarantee landfall or anything like that. We're definitely looking like we're going into an El Nino setup. And the old school of thumb with that is people really talk a lot about this. In the region I mentioned it's 100 days away. We're going to start seeing a lot more hurricane chit-chat. But typically when we're in a La Nina, which we were for the last 3 years, last year was a rare third-year La Nina. Usually they run in 2-year cycles. Second, we had record number of storms 3 years ago. And then 2 years ago, we had the third most active season ever. And then last year was expected to be very active, and it was average. And a lot of that is a lot of unknowns about a third-year La Nina. But the Atlantic waters are measured out here in the Atlantic, and they take a little section. And if this little area right here is above normal, if it's 0.5, I think it's Celsius. If it's 0.5 degrees above that normal, then we are leaning into El Nino. And then if it's below, as I just spit, if it's below the normal temperatures, then we're in a La Nina. So that's where you're going to hear a lot of hype about this El Nino. Fewer hurricanes. That's just what all forecasters, a majority of forecasters use this as their number one tool when they make preseason predictions. Now, they use other things, but as I've pointed out, 2004 and 2018 were El Nino years. In 2004, we had Gene, Francis, Charlie, Ivan, and what do we have, Ivan? I was confused. What was the other ice storm? I always mess this up. Make sure. By the third storm, I was done. So we had, I think it was Ivan. I don't remember now. I think it was 4 hurricanes in 6 weeks. All right, here's my graphic I'm trying to find right here. I was looking for a specific graphic. And here we go. There they were, 6 weeks. Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, Ivan. Yeah, we had Ivan. Okay. That's right. Okay. I didn't want to be wrong about that. But anyway, that was a busy year, 2004. And then, of course, 18 with Michael and Florence. So just because we're in El Nino does not mean it only takes one. So it's great news and great press to hear, oh, it's going to be a lower than average hurricane season. But like I say, and I'm not a hypist, and as you know me, I don't hype. It only takes one. And with 2 years ago, we had the third most active season ever. I think it was 30 storms, third most active hurricane season ever. And really, Ida was the only storm that really made an impact that year. And that was, of course, Upper Gulf, terrible hurricane. So it only takes one. You can have a season with a ton of names, but it only takes one. So, but we're going to be hearing a lot of hype about that soon, about our preseason predictions, which I am no longer a fan of. I fell into the trap a couple years ago. Oh, someone's asking about the pollen map right here. Here's a pollen map. Boom. I don't know where that's at in the page, about halfway down. But there's your pollen map, courtesy of Weather Channel. Look at that. We are in red, which is about as high as it gets. Very high. So there's your current pollen map. And you could tell just by looking at your car. Things are green. All right, so here's the Storm Prediction Center. Let's see. So here's the weather coming. Let's just look at radar real quick, kind of get a sense of what's going on with your 7-day. All right. That's not a good looking map. What did they do to it here? Let's fix that. Well, they got a little update to do here. It doesn't look right. What are they doing? It's all jazzed up. Must be going through a little issue here with their site. Nope. That ain't gonna work. All right. Well, let's just go trusty old GFS based on our good buddy here, Tropical Tidbits. So Tropical Tidbits. All right. So we got a combined ice snow event coming and some storms tomorrow. So here's what it looks like. Low pressure digs down and boom, there we go. All right. So here's tomorrow. All right. There's your line of storms across the Mississippi Valley. We flip on over here to the Storm Prediction Center. And here it is on day 2, which is tomorrow. So there's your line of storms. We're going to have this low pressure system here. This is going to be spinning up some storms with wintry weather to the north. So we got storms tomorrow, out ahead of this. Slight risk of tornadoes. Right now it's only 2%, so more just thunderstorms tomorrow. But you can see this fine line with the warm air and the snow to the north is definitely some chances of ice and wintry weather to worry about for the upper Gulf Coast or upper Great Lakes states. Could have some into Pennsylvania and it'll be long gone by Friday night. And that's a big story. So let's get into some specifics here on timing. The Storm Prediction Center does have a winter. I might have to look for it. They have a really good winter map here on impacts, the weather. I'm gonna have to dig it out. They have a winter weather page that shows severity, experimental on winter weather. They changed their homepage. I see. That's new. But yesterday they had an extreme weather warning for upper Minneapolis area. And I really don't know where it's at. I'm not really a big winter guy. I keep finding these new maps and I get excited about it. Let's see, winter WPC maps. Let's see if we can find it. Here it is. All right, here it is right here. I just had to Google it, but I got to put the link somewhere. All right, so we have the map I wanted to show was a severity map, and it would be winter weather product suite. Here it is, winter weather impact graphics. Okay, we're getting there. Probably not going to find it. But anyway, snow and ice. All right. So Minneapolis is right on that border of heavy snow. See, this is why everybody loves Mike's weather page, is because I find all these cool graphics and put them on the page, because otherwise you can never find them. It's like they got the best products, but there's so many products that you can never find exactly what you're looking for on their stuff. You got probability maps. I know the probability maps, but anyway, it's like it's exact. So if I was in the winter weather, I would start a Mike's winter weather page, because this was me in 2004 trying to find spaghetti models and forecast maps and radars, and I'm like, I can't keep finding these things. So I made a page called Mike's weather page, and I would put the graphics on one page so I didn't have to do what I'm doing now. All right, but anyway, let's look at the latest actual graphics. I might not even have anybody mention. Let's talk about the heat coming. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit about the weather, then we're going to talk about the heat coming. A lot of heat coming. All right, so ice first. Let's go to ice. This is the big story. Could have another ice event coming for a lot of folks up north with ice accumulation. Now, it's going to start tomorrow. Here's tomorrow morning. So it starts, starts building a little bit, but the big stuff's throughout the day, Wednesday into Wednesday night. Here we go. Here is Wednesday night, and overnight hours, obviously, it starts to have a chance to really get frozen. And it's significant. So this is going to be interesting. Here's some of the bigger values. I zoom in on them for you. I can't even get over there. I wonder where my little bottom thingy is. Where's my scroll bar? There you are. Scroll bar, where are you? All right. Got to readjust a little bit. There we go. Make my screen sexy. Okay, here's the scroll bar. All right. So here's the latest values. Anything 0.1 is usually trouble, but we could definitely get some problems here across Michigan, Wisconsin, even down into Iowa, and then across New York. So this is your latest ice forecast. Most of this is Wednesday and Thursday, but significant enough that you could have power outages. There's already people telling me there's power outage maps up north because, once you get power lines with ice on them, they can't hold it. Trees can't hold ice. Ice develops on tree limbs. Tree limbs get heavier, and they topple over. And when the trees topple over, they usually go over power lines. And crews can't get out there sometimes because of the ice on the roads. So that's why it's good to have a generator, a firm and power generator, and have all your supplies in place ahead of time because it's coming. Now your snow line is going to be to the bottom of that, but this is significant. This is the ice. Snow is going to be pretty heavy duty. Let's look here. Some of the latest. Let's kind of zoom in. We'll get to zoom in a little bit here on this one. But here's your big snow. Check this out. 23, 24 inches. Parts of Wisconsin, Minnesota. This is where we're worried about, significant extreme weather building this week. That's like roads, roads are impossible to drive on. So that's some pretty heavy duty snow. Their first significant snowfall of the season's coming. And this is the next few days. So 2 feet of snow here across Minnesota and Wisconsin into Michigan some. A little bit's going to extend. But look at this fine line. There's really nothing down into Pennsylvania. Now, they're going to get some ice down here, but the big snow is more to the north. So there you go. And again, the snow misses Boston and New York. They've had an absolutely very mild winter. I met a lot of folks at the Daytona 500 race weekend that, they're in a snowplow industry, and they were telling me how bad it's been. They usually hope for at least 2 big storms a year, and they've only had 1. So they're definitely, a lot of companies depend on weather, and so far it's been very, very mild up there. All right. So let's look at temperatures for the southeast. This is the interesting thing. So here's what we got. We got a big high pressure building in over the southeast. And we are going to have a very warm several days ahead. So today, anything kind of like, everything orange is 70s. Everything yellow is 60s. 80s pretty much the whole peninsula of Florida today. Now watch what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow being Wednesday. Boom! We got 80s all the way up to Louisiana, 80s in Texas, 80s in Arkansas, 80s in Mississippi, 80s all the way through the Carolinas. It's going to be 80s in North Carolina, South Carolina, 80s in Tennessee. Now look what happens to Thursday. Boom! That's the hottest day. We got 90 in Orlando. 90s throughout all of middle Florida. We got upper 80s in Jacksonville. We got middle 80s all the way up through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. We got middle 80s in Georgia, South Carolina. So we got a huge blast of summer coming Thursday. Totally feeling like summer. Records are going to be broken. Very, very rare to get 90s in February. Corrine, I hope that the Hurricane car will be in other races. So, because the state was involved and local county EOCs, they loved the concept. I think we figured out it could be a home run as far as giving weather information out. They provided so much valuable information on storms that people could take home with them. That, being that the Daytona 500 is 100 days from hurricane season, and there's already predictions being put out now this week. It's the perfect kickoff, So yeah, we're hoping it was a great success. So we're hoping to do it again next year. Eric, what's up, buddy? Yep, high pressure in control. We got baseball coming. How you like that? Good morning there, Carl Childers. Heat wave in Texas. Yes, let's look at Texas since we got someone from Texas. Met a lot of people in the Outer Banks. Met a lot of people from Texas. You guys have been a little quiet with storms here in the last few years. Oh my gosh, look at what happened in Texas. What part of Texas are you in, Carl? Look at today. So today we got upper 80s. This is today Texas temps. Upper 90s in the tip down there. Look at tomorrow, though. Holy crap. We can see hundreds tomorrow in South Texas. That is unbelievable. You might see some hundreds in Texas tomorrow. Is that rare? For February 22nd? Hundreds? Is that possible? Look at these extremes. Let's check out Friday. Look at these Look at these extremes for Friday. All right, so here's Texas on Friday. So we're going to have high temperatures. These aren't low temperatures. These are high temperatures on Friday. 43. That means it's going to be like in the 20s at night. But look at Friday. The high temperature, 43 or 95-ish possibly down here somewhere. So, a 50-degree swing. You Texans are a bunch of swingers. Hey, Doris, it's nice to meet you. I wish I remember. Let me see if I can click on a face here. I can't remember everybody, but... Oh, you don't even have a face on there. Maybe you do. It was nice to meet you. I've met so many great fans. I wish everybody that came along could tag me in one. But it was nice meeting you. It was an exciting finish. I really wanted Brad Kozlowski to win. It was classic setup with Brad and his teammate with Childress cars behind him. It was going to be, and then we had the Penske cars together. I thought we were going to have 3 two-car tandems battling it out, and it ended up having a big crash. So here's your Texas temps. Yes, hot in the south part for sure. So anyway, heat wave coming. Next storms are brewing. You look at long range storm prediction center already showing day 6 now, which is, getting into that springtime setup. Look at that, day 6 now showing up. Storm chasers are excited. This is their neck of the woods up here. This is when they start going for those big open prairie Wizard of Oz style tornadoes. But that's a sign the jet stream's pulling up a little bit north, changing the weather pattern a little bit. And, as far as rain goes, look at this. James Fort, good morning. Hey, check this out, Mr. James Fort. Look at that. We got 2 of the koozies. These are going to be in our little swag bag. This is the actual second annual cruise koozie. People love koozies, man. I don't know what it is. Oh, I don't know if you saw this and that. Hey, if you're at your local bookstore or Walmart, check this out. This is your NASCAR magazine for 2 months. This runs for 2 months. And look whose car was on the top. And they had a huge spread in here. 4-page spread with Mike's weather page. And that's massive because it had a lot of stuff. There's pictures of cars talking about it. So if you see it in magazines, pick it up. It was so exciting. Car was bad. Look, they even got the Hurricane Chaser in there. Look at that. It's a huge write-up in the magazine. This thing will sit on the book stands for 2 months, man. We got 2 months of NASCAR pole position, man. That is awesome. They apparently got like 250,000 magazine publications. So anyway, Greg, what's up, buddy? Oh, you're my infield buddy. I remember you, Greg. I was a little hammered that night. Dieter, what's that? Yeah, we can talk storms. Good morning, Katie Haley. Yeah, Greg, we were hanging out, man. It was fun down in the infield. It was so cool. Greg had a MWP sticker on his Yeti cup. That was pretty nice. Shelly, get you a copy. I'll get you one. We got extra, Shelly. We'll make sure you get one. Remind Julie to bring it, because you know me, and bringing things on the cruise is not really good. I went last year's MWP cruise and completely forgot my laptop. Oh no, it was our family cruise. I think I left it in March. Brad, I don't know about that, buddy. I like Jimmy. So huge cold snap, Harold. Yes, Idaho. Harold, did you ever get your shirt? I know you mentioned you didn't get it. You should have got it. The monkey bar. Golly, it was such a great week. All right, so we'll be live again tomorrow. Just wanted to chat weather real quick. Again, huge thanks for everybody we met at the race. It was so much fun. Never dreamed to have so many, fans of the page over there. It was very, very humbling. So many good people. It was great. But we do got some weather to talk about, so we'll keep an eye on things. Mainly ice up north and snow. Nothing really brewing in the south. Storms a little bit tomorrow. Pollen map's pretty high. I might post that here in a second. People love to see the pollen maps. We're already seeing a little color on the tropics map. That's way south. That ain't gonna happen, but a sign that we might have a little tropics brewing. But we'll go more into hurricanes soon. I'm not a long range predictor. You know, I fell into that trap. Also, believe in La Nina and all that. And last year we had a lot of African dust. High pressure was positioned a little bit farther to the north than normal across the Atlantic. This was a big reason in the beginning of the year, if you remember. But typically, when you have a high pressure here, you have, winds like this, and the high pressure system pretty much funneled in all this Saharan air layer last year, making very unfavorable conditions with a lot of dust last year, if you remember. And our storms had a hard time getting going, which is good. But we still had homegrown, which in my book anymore is a lot more realistic to worry about than the Cape Verde style systems. Cape Verde style systems are very rare anymore. I think my most memorable one over the years was Irma. We watched it come across. Trying to show you the map here from I got so many dang slides, but we'll be doing this presentation on our ship. I love doing this presentation. Gets me so psyched up. All right, so here is this is a good map. It's kind of hard to really figure out. What you're looking for is purple. Purple is Cat 5 storms. So, or super duper strong Cat 4s. All right, so what this graphic shows you is that there's been 10. Now this doesn't show you storms that were, major hurricanes that affected the Caribbean, so it's deceiving. I know we've had a lot of storms across the Caribbean, Maria, obviously, and others. But these are 10 storms that were 150 miles an hour plus that impacted the continental U.S. Andrew was actually formed out here farther than most of all others, and this was like the end of August. But you can see, this area really doesn't mean much. Most of your upper level wind shear, if you look at the El Nino maps, indicates a lot of Caribbean shear. Well, with Michael, think about Gene and Francis too, kind of like over here. So, that's why I'm not so wrapped up in this El Nino, kind of letting everybody think that there's not going to be any more storms, because Michael was here, but everything you worry about seems to form right at the last second. And of these 10, 9 were tropical storms 3 days out. So like Hurricane Ian last year, for example, on Monday it was 70 miles an hour. On Wednesday, it was 155 miles an hour. So massive intensification right at the last second. Changes a lot. So we don't get too wrapped up in what happens out in the Atlantic. I guess bottom line, we saw that last year. It only takes one. Biggest thing is when we get closer to the coast here towards the end of the season with our heat potential map, this is the area that storms start to really bubble. And, what happens out here, whatever. We saw Florence bounce around. It was a 4 out here, and it weakened to a 1 over here, but it was still a major issue with billions of dollars of damage. People get too wrapped up in category numbers. They get too wrapped up in number of storms. You know, the media hype dropped tremendously with Florence because it was a 4. 6 o'clock news, downgraded to a 3. You know, next day, downgraded to a 2. Everybody's like, oh, nothing. Then it hits as a 1, leaves $20-some billion in damage because it was a slow-moving tropical system that brought in a lot of rain. So I get too frustrated when the emotions of media hype are reacted so much by the category number. And with Florida, you know, talking to so many people down here in Florida, you know, the number one thing that I've been trying to do over the years is, you know, yes, we have impact of the storm here, right? But man, nobody talks about this impact, or even up here, as our storm spirals in rain bands. So, you know, not enough is ever discussed about inland effects. And, you know, talking to so many people that were affected here from flooding basically. A lot of tornadoes, too. One graphic with Ian, this is all Ian stuff, but, man, it's the stories that people have told me that live inland, you know, from rivers and just the rain that we had, just that's the bigger story. I mean, coastal, yeah, we knew there was going to be surge and stuff. I mean, I think the biggest shock of anything was the overall size of Ian, you know, brought surge way south and a lot of tornadoes as it approached, you know, away from the actual center. But as it exited, you know, the impacts that it brought down continued as only a tropical storm. You know, you got to remember, Ian wasn't a hurricane again until way over here. So it was only a tropical storm here. And everybody says, you know, with Nicole, they're like, well, all that damage was from Ian. Well, if it was still only a tropical storm. You know, and I'll never forget Michael. When Michael came up, you know, the impacts inland were so much greater than people even anticipated. And another storm I'll never forget was Irma. That was such a large system. People evacuated here and woke up to cars flooded in the Savannah, Brunswick area because the size of the storm was so large that it brought in, even when our storm was down here, it brought in surge to the north. So these are very important things that I've learned over the years that I think I need to discuss more with, you know, bring awareness to, you know, definitely, because I get that a lot. The stories beyond landfall are just as, you know, intense as the ones that were hit at landfall. So anyway, that's a little tidbit here and there, things I'm learning about. But again, you know, it was a very successful week at Daytona. I was very humbled, and just the fact that the state of Florida believes in what I do and the page and local EOC counties and FEMA. So, I mean, basically, you think about it. We had the state, Florida Division of Emergency Management there. The director himself, Kevin Guthrie, wants to do more next year at Daytona if we do this again. We had local county, Volusia County EOC there. We had other EOCs from the state level that were there. And like I said, there's a few folks with FEMA there that were big followers of our page. So it really solidifies, I mean, in the theme that I try to put out to everybody that asked in the media was two things. One was, A, we got your back, meaning we're here for you. Like before the storm, during the storm, and after the storm, you can always count on everybody involved with our supporters, state, EOC. Everybody's got your back that's involved with what we did. And secondly, you know, we're all in this together, you know. We're all like a big weather family, you know, government level, privateer level, all bringing you resources and information for you to digest, and an emotional side to it too. I hope that, you know, we all feed off each other and share our stories, and it brings, you know, like that Fox article I don't know if I have it linked on my page. I think I should. I don't know why I don't have it linked on my page. Why don't I have it linked on my page? Mike? That's pretty bad marketing, considering I went to marketing. Let me pull it up here. Fox Weather. So Fox did a nice article on the page, and their headline was "Storms Bring People Together." And they do. So now I need to find it. It's not Fox. Fox News. What am I talking about? Fox News. Oh, poor me. All right, so here it is. So here's just the Fox News headline. Florida weather blogger. Oh, allow ads. Darn it, I got to turn off my ad block. Okay, so we gotta temporarily allow ads on this page. I hate pop-ups. All right. Florida weather blogger talks Hurricane Ian, how storms unite people, neighbors helping neighbors. Mike Boylan of Mike's Weather page. So anyway, that was a cool article Fox did on. This was during Ian. But the one point that they brought out was how it brings people together. And so the cool thing about Daytona was it did bring people together. You know, every fan that stopped by shared a story about storms. And, you know, I met a couple families with kids that actually like watched the show. And I'm like, uh-oh. But to see kids like want to, you know, the kids are so smart nowadays. Young kids are learning about weather and they watch our show. So hey, if we got any homeschoolers right now watching, thank you for watching Mike's Weather page. You're inspiring. Don't always be like Mike. Be like Mike sometimes. But anyway, it was a good article, and it really solidified kind of what we do. So that is a good theme, you know, bringing people together. So anyway, I ramble on a lot. So anything else we can chit chat about? We'll be live tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Still a little depressed about Emily, but we'll get through it. Hopefully she heals quick. Probably going to be a month. 3 weeks minimum. Hopefully 4 weeks, the maximum. She's bummed out, but what are you going to do, right? Bummer. So anyway, all right. So we got any North. Hey, Mary Chero Cotman. What's up? Let's see if I missed anybody. Cindy in Waltha, North Carolina. Jane in Wilmington. Cat numbers mean little. I totally agree. Cool, Harold. Awesome, man. Appreciate that, buddy. I did get to meet Mr. Frank Dalton from Coastal Claims. And, of course, Tammy and her crew from OSR were there. And, of course, Jason and Greg from Furman. So we had big thanks to those guys and gals for supporting it. But it was nice to meet Frank from Coastal Claims. So, you know, hey, what's up there, Mr. Chris Hargish? How was your tournament, buddy? Julie, thank you. Bob. Marcia, oh, she broke her toe. Irma Murtha says, yeah, it was pretty hot and heavy during Irma. Shelly's in cruise mode. Good old Shelly. Shelly's role with MWP has shifted from all kinds of things, right, Shelly? A couple years ago, we needed to moderate more. I think our group is actually molded into a really good little group now, right? Greg, you were in the video I posted on 1 and 2. Were you? Yeah, I saw your picture of me. That wreck was right in front of us, the last lap crash. How about the flyovers? Did anybody see the oh my God, the Thunderbirds! It was the most intense thing, man. I started crying. Emily thinks it's so funny. You know, you get so wrapped up in the emotions, man. When they came by with those full burners on, man, it was like just crazy. It was like, wow. Dave from New Orleans, Mardi Gras. Was that this weekend, right? Or still going on? All I remember about New Orleans last time we were there, me and my buddy Phil, were the green drinks, what they called hand grenades. bad. Bad. We didn't even make it to dusk. We went inside and said, oh, we're going to take a little nap. We didn't wake up till like 2 in the morning. Yeah, that was a great wake up, Greg, every morning. Windows are shaking. Hey, Chris, good job. We won the soccer. Cool. Yeah, Marcy, she stubbed her toe. I don't know if I finished the story. What's up, Jody McCain? Love beer and horses. Oh, it was cool, man. All right. Well, I'm going to roll. We got to get the camper back, and I got to get some doctor appointments for Emily. So there you go. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Let's tune in tomorrow and talk about weather and talk a little bit more about hurricanes. Just like I said, it's 100 days away. You're going to start seeing hurricane outlooks coming. People are going to be slowly tuning in as we get closer to May. And the reason we say May is National Hurricane Center starts issuing these advisories that we're so used to seeing. These little guys, May 15th, these start. Official season doesn't start until June the 1st. But these little guys start May 15th. Still a few months away. So, all right. Hey, listen, we will see everybody tomorrow. Okay. Same time, same place. All right. Have a great Tuesday. Tacos for everybody. Bye-bye. As a dog snores.